Astronauts Anonymous in general does not
endorse Ryan.
Ryan's opinions are of Ryan's and Ryan's own.
The only endorsement I have is of Ryan's editing skills, in which case he's doing a fantastic job.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
And then if Ryan disagrees, we taste him.
Welcome to Astronauts Anonymous. This is Ryan and Joe, Viet, and Alex, where we give you the nerdy news one step at a time. We're going to talk about Pokemon Go today because it is bugging the shit out of me because it's not a Pokemon game.
Who made this guy the sexy DJ?
Apparently, Ryan's just taking over this podcast. I'm okay with that, though.
Yeah, he should have taken charge of that pizza girl.
We're giving Ryan crap because there was a really attractive pizza girl that came delivered, and he would not ask for her number.
He absolutely refused.
I was more concerned about the pizza. Also, you shouldn't hit on people while they're at work.
Yeah. To be fair, as a former sexy pizza delivery guy, I always hated it when I'd come to the door and people would start trying to hit on me.
Wait, you used to be a pizza delivery guy? So like in porn, did you guys ever get the, I can't pay for my meal, but...
Oh, yeah.
That did happen.
Really?
Yeah.
I never got that.
I've gotten, my favorite was I opened up the door and a guy was like, I'd tip you, but I only have hundreds.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
To which I was like, who are you impressing? I'm the pizza guy.
I'm the pizza guy.
Now, interestingly enough, my wife and I were both in the service industry at the same time, so while I was a pizza delivery guy, she was a bartender at a city-owned golf course.
Oh,
right?
God, I'm sorry. Being a female bartender has got to be one of the worst jobs.
Yeah.
Well, you'd think, but she was a bartender at a golf course, right? So, for example, because they were owned by the city, they gave her a full wage. And because we were in the D.C. suburban area, it was like, I want to say like $13, $14 an hour.
Oh, wow. That's plus.
And because of that, officially they weren't allowed to do tips because they were owned by the city, but they had a tip jar that people would just throw money at, and so all of her tips would come under the table.
Dang, so a bunch of rich people.
Exactly, because not a lot of poor people play golf. And whereas, like, meanwhile, as a pizza delivery guy at Domino's, that's like the Night's Watch of the service industry. Like, I got there and they're like, "Here, man, gets what he earns." Like, and I would have to scrape by for my tips. Because, like, especially my manager would hand me a pizza and be like, "This is 30 minutes late, go." And to which, when they open up the door, they act like I own Domino's.
Yeah.
Like I'm the franchise owner. They're like, "Where have you been?"
I was always really upset about that because I lived in a college town. I lived in Bloomington. And you would think, like, being a pizza dude in that area would be great because, like, 50% college girls. Nope. It was mostly just, like, fat townies.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And it was interesting because at the pizza place, how do I put this? My manager, he was a guy named Moises. He was from America, but basically he would stereotype everybody, right? He'd look at the address and he'd be like, "It's a mom, you're gonna get a terrible tip." And basically his philosophy was, and this is in my experience too, the uppity middle class moms are terrible tippers.
Yeah.
Their teenage kids are terrible tippers because they'll pocket the tip for themselves.
Yep.
And it's the like late 30s, early 40s dad that you want to watch out for because they're the one that still want to be cool. So they're the ones that will tip the best.
Yeah, that's true actually. College students suck because they didn't have any money.
I bet they never tempt with sex, though.
No, they never did.
The
The few times I did get the cute college girls, never any offers or not even like laying around their bikinis, sunbathing, anything like that. No joys of the college life.
So not even a rusty trombone, huh?
God. This has already turned into a creepy podcast.
I just wanted to talk about Pokemon Go. You guys took it
We'll get into that.
direction.
Well, I should let you start, Ryan.
You walked away, so we had to keep the conversation going, and if it got a little creepy, so be it.
Now,
immediately.
You call it Pokemon Go. I call it Pokemon Tinder.
Oh, we did have kind of an experience.
Yeah,
because it's seriously, you walk up to Pokemon. You don't actually. There's no combat really. I mean, there's some combat, but there's not a lot.
You go swipe left or right.
Yeah. If you like Pokemon, you swipe them right and you kidnap them.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll get into that in a moment. Let's start,
No,
though.
we were
Ryan?
talking about Pokemon
We
Go
will
right
have
now.
plenty of time to talk about Pokemon Go in this episode. But let's start the round table. Ryan, what have you been up to this last week?
Pokemon Go.
Nothing else at all.
This is my life right now.
That is your entire life. It's amazing that I have more Pokemon than you and better Pokemon than you. Then
You, sir, can...
Well, put the
can
Squirtles
suck
back
it.
in the shells, fellas.
I can feel my shell tightening.
Oh my god. Oh god. For those of you that just think Ryan just got really creepy, that was a reference to the fact that we just recorded our Ninja Turtle review.
I also got really creepy.
Well, he's creepy in general.
Yeah.
It's my thing. Everybody has to have a thing. I chose creepy.
Besides Pokemon Go, what else did you go to this week at all?
Being creepy?
That's okay, something like different at all than normal. Any new games?
The opposite
Movies.
of creepy.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know if I can do that one.
Yeah, Ryan has a hard time with that.
Okay.
New games? Let's see. There was Pokemon Go. Aside from that, really, I don't got much. So if we're doing the round table right now, move on to the next person because my life is
Alright.
boring.
What about you, Viet?
Okay, well, I mean, it has been a really heavy Pokemon Go week for me.
Sounds
I've
like we can
been
talk about it.
my biggest issue has been with servers. This is going to be a very Pokemon Go heavy episode.
Oh yeah, it was sort of.
I mean, basically, aside from that, I mean, just doing my normal adult thing. I go to work. I make money. Matter of fact, I mean, everybody knows that I've been like fanboying out since His Holiness the Dalai Lama has been here, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I got sent a picture the other day. It's on my phone, and it's actually of me and His Holiness actually talking to each other.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't posted it yet. I wanted to, be a live, thing, but yeah, I'm getting ready to bring it around and.
Now, is the Dalai Lama? He's the head of what Vajrayana Buddhism? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the 4 schools of Tibetan Buddhism, he is the main teacher of the Gelug tradition. So.
Yeah, I believe it's like Vajrayana, Theravada, Mahayana. I can't remember the 4th one.
Oh, I feel bad for
That's a
thinking
great
of
picture
him
of
as
you, man.
the
Yeah.
Buddhist Pope then.
Well, yeah. In the realm of Tibetan Buddhism, it's the Gelug school, the Kadampa school, the Nyingma school, and then the Old Bone tradition. So that's kind of where he sits at. Vajrayana is a very specific type of Tibetan Buddhism that's not really taught here in the States much, but there are centers that are dedicated to it. Theravada is the school of elders, and you find that primarily in Sri Lanka and
Yeah, like a lot of island places.
Yeah.
Like they're usually like very small regions have a very strong Theravada community.
Yeah, and that's as close to the original teachings that the Buddha gave, some 2,600 years ago as you can get. Mahayana is basically a blanket term that refers to the Tibetan schools and Chinese Buddhism,
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to the big schism that happened between the Theravadins and the Mahasangikas. Obviously, we've gotten away from Pokemon Go into Buddhist History 101.
We'll have plenty of time to talk about Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
this
we'll have
episode.
plenty. Yeah, but yeah, it was just for me, it was just awesome to get to shake his hand. But now there's like photographic evidence. I'm gonna be posting that everywhere. Be like, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Wait, is it your Facebook profile?
I'm getting ready to.
Okay.
Because essentially I just got it yesterday. So
You got to commit and make it your Facebook profile.
Oh, it's going. It's gonna be there. Actually, I'm gonna do that now. So pretty much that's been my week. I spent most of the day volunteering yesterday. Mowed a half acre of land with a push mower. Did not realize that the push mower was self-propelled until I was halfway done with the mowing.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Especially since those give a little bit of drag if you're not using the self-propelled part.
Yeah. So
you made it double hard for half the time and then use the utility.
Yeah. So I never said I was the brightest bulb on the string.
Did you also dress up as a banana this last week?
Yes, I did. For Independence Day, I was dressed up as a banana.
Great photo. We have it up on our Facebook page.
Yeah, because I wanted to remind everybody that for the holiday to remain safe and sane. and some really interesting Facebook comments were made, and we'll just leave it at that.
It's what basically ensured that Viet is now the sex appeal of Astronauts Anonymous.
Pretty much. How
if
can
it
you?
wasn't super creepy, it would be my my wallpaper at work.
it is his wallpaper at work.
Okay,
Don't
now
lie
it's
to
getting
you.
real serious.
You got to have the poster be a Viet doing the Burt Reynolds pose. Have you guys ever seen that?
Oh my
Yes,
God!
Yes,
Yes.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, look it up real quick, Ryan, just so you can actually see it.
What'd you say, the Burt Reynolds?
Yeah, Playgirl Burt Reynolds.
I got you. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
God.
It's basically proof that Burt Reynolds came from a completely different time where you could be like a woolly mammoth in terms of body hair and stuff like that, and that was considered like the hotness.
That was
Oh
back
my
in his time.
God.
That was the.
Yeah, yeah, baby.
That reaction just reminds me of the first time whenever I told you what 4chan was.
Oh God. Oh God.
I discovered 4chan was still one of my greatest moments.
Yeah, you can't prepare for that, and I believe I then doused my water in hot liquid, or my laptop in hot liquid.
Doused his water in hot liquid, guys.
Yeah, my water as well. I doused my laptop in hot liquid in order to try to. Why, Alex? Why are you sending these? What? Oh, I'm sharing with the group.
Oh
now.
no, I've seen that. That's
That's
Zardoz.
from
Zardoz.
I sent Ryan a picture of Sean Connery and Zardoz, where he wears what can only be described as a post-apocalyptic mankini.
Such a great photo.
It's like a traffic wreck. I can't look away. I really want to.
Well, what about you, Alex? How was your week?
Whatchamacallit? My week, I had the video game equivalent of a drug relapse, where my wife started playing Fallout again, and Fallout 4.
Oh no!
And what happened was my wife was finishing up her master's degree in Florida while I was going
Not now.
while I was going to Vassar for the first semester. So when Fallout 4 came out last year, I basically could only play it on my buddy's Xbox 360, and we were taking shifts. But I got it kind of out of my system, and I had all my saves on his file when my wife came, and we met back up in January. So I hadn't touched it for like months. I was clean. And then she starts playing it, and she uploads mods, and I've got my laptop. I was like, I've never actually played Fallout on the PC with mods before. And my entire life was pulled into a Fallout vacuum. I'm now more interested
Just one more hour, man.
I'm more interested about the satisfaction and socioeconomic status of my citizens than I have ever been for human beings in the real world. Like, I'm dropping stalls and stuff. I was like, yeah, this clothing store is going to really boost the economy. Like, I'm empowering small business owners.
I generally care more about my video game characters than I do about real people anyway.
Yeah. I'm like giving them weapons and stuff. I'm like, you got to be safe when you're going from settlement to settlement. But yeah, so I've been pulled into that, and I forgot how extensive the mod community was for Fallout, especially.
Got any interesting mods on there?
You can say in public.
Well, no, I don't have any of the terrible, like, gross stuff. What I actually just found...
I just have a furry one on there.
What I found really interesting was how many mods were just there to fix all Bethesda's glitches.
Yeah.
And there were, like, unofficial big patches and stuff like that. My favorite, personally, is somebody uploaded a patch that added music to the soundtrack. Because in Fallout 4, the soundtrack, I want to say, is, like, maybe 10 songs. Like, less. It feels super duper small. Which sucked because in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, there was actually a pretty, like, large collection. And I believe their story was the contract that they had to get the rights to a lot of the old-timey music, like, expired, or a new company bought them and made it more difficult. But somebody added over 100 new songs.
Wow.
That's good. That's a good mod.
And there are mods somebody did a weather mod where the storms, like when it storms, it actually, like, rains and you can see lightning and visibility is reduced. So that stuff like that was super fun. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she spends hours just getting mods to make sure that her character looks as pretty as possible.
Kawaii pretty kind of thing?
Well, no, not like kawaii pretty, but she'll be sitting there and she'll be like, she'll be sitting there, she'll be like, you know, I know a guy modded these hairstyles. And I was like, why? And she goes, because these bangs are gross. Because she'll be looking at him and she's like, the bangs start from the middle. So that's why she hated the hairstyles from like Dragon Age Inquisition and stuff like that. So she'll get she'll get mods for video games just to fix like the hairstyle, to make sure that she can see, because the lighting is usually different in character creation than it is in the actual game. So she'll work on a character and think it's good, and then the moment the sun hits, it looks like the Crypt Keeper. And that's the hardest part about playing the game for Lauren, is she'll spend like, I'm not kidding when I say she spends hours on just the character creation, just getting the face right. And then she won't want to jump to the actual storyline progression, so she'll just never complete the game.
Spend 5 hours on getting the hair just right, and then half an hour of gameplay. Well,
and then she'll spend some time and then she'll just do all the side quests. And she'll basically be afraid to do the main quest because she doesn't want to jump the gun.
In all honesty, that's the epitome right there of Fallout.
Yeah, and she plays. Well, it's funny because we noticed that we play the same characters in Skyrim as we do in Fallout, where in Skyrim she played a stealth sniper with a bow and arrow and stuff like that, and so it'll take her an hour to go through like a cave or something because it's like she's playing in real life. You know, she's looking at the wind, she's making sure everything's right. She doesn't want to be caught. And she does the same thing in Fallout, where she's like a sniper and stuff. She doesn't ever want to be seen by anybody. And then I play a brute force and ignorance guy who just swings as big a hammer as I can get my hands on.
Is it as fun, because I haven't played Fallout 4, but is it as fun in Fallout 4 to make your character with like no intelligence? 3?
Now, I don't know if it's as good because they don't dumb up the dialogue because it's the voice actor, which I was really sad about because
that's disappointing.
They do have perks though that actually because intelligence determines how many experience points you get. But they have a thing where the dumber you are, it's a perk you can get. The more experience points you just randomly generate because you're so stupid.
Huh.
I missed that though in Fallout. I want to say they did it in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, where if you set your intelligence to 1, your dialogue options, you'd be like,
they did it in 1 and 2 as well, actually, the originals.
Yeah, but you'd be in New Vegas and you'd be like, do we find shiny thing? And they're like, you're not, okay, thanks.
Like, I do know in Fallout New Vegas, like, you can straight up miss quests because people don't want to tell you anything that might go over your head.
Yeah. Now, on the other side, though, and something that I really liked about New Vegas, is you could defeat the final melee boss by philosophically debating him if you had 100 speech.
What? I did not know that, actually.
I always go brute force and ignorance, so I saw this guy in giant metal armor and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, I'm going to fight the shit out of him, or I'm going to fight the poop out of him. Ryan edit that. And, and then but then I did a dialogue person, and then he's like, I am the blade of the East. Prepare to meet your doom. And I saw it was like a speech 95, and there are like 4 or 5 different speech checks, the last of which is 100. But you basically convince him that him diverting his entire army to try and conquer the New California Republic will only weaken the Legion because it's spreading out their military across too far a distance, and that their viability as a nation only exists as long as they have a strong military, and that the New California Republic is so weak because it covers such wide real estate. Oh, wow. So while they think it would be a short-term victory, it would be a long-term failure. And he's like, you're right. You've convinced me. I'm going home.
That's kind of awesome. So has that pretty much been your week, Fallout?
Yeah, I've fallen into the mod vacuum. I wanted to go see maybe like Tarzan or something like that, but I just haven't gotten around to seeing it yet.
I've actually heard really good things about Tarzan, but nobody's gone to see it.
Really? Yeah. Well, financially, there's proof of that because it's not making any money. Well, I think it's making a little bit of money.
Not much, though.
Yeah. And in fact, what's doing well right now?
Finding Dory?
Yeah. Finding Dory's gonna kill it.
Yeah.
That's a perfect 4 kids movie. Let's see, worldwide. I'm not seeing.
All right. Well, while you're looking up that, my week actually been pretty busy. Got Monday off obviously because of the holiday, which was great, and then got an extra day off on Saturday, which was not Saturday. I'm always off on Saturdays. I got half a day off on Friday, So I went
Lucky.
home early and ended up, of course, going Pokemon hunting during that day.
Yeah, didn't we catch video of that, or was that
Was that
Saturday?
Friday night?
Yeah.
That was Friday night.
Yeah, that was
okay, yeah.
Friday
So we got
night.
that up on the website right now. So yeah, I came over here
Just three idiots
and
out hunting Pokemon. On
we
the
recorded a
phone.
bunch of Let's
Oh.
Plays actually.
Also, to correct yourself, it's not actually Finding Dory that's killing it. It's The Secret Life of Pets that's killing it.
That's all. They already got the results for that.
For July 8th to the 10th, they're currently at a weekend gross of 100 million.
Man,
wow.
I got a friend that she went to go see that. I haven't heard back from her what she thought of it yet, but
Now, Finding Dory actually had a pretty substantial 50% drop. They've only made 20
Really?
million this weekend. Yeah. Well, that makes sense though because it didn't have the same emotional impact as the first one.
that's true.
It just wasn't there because genuinely nothing was at risk. They only introduced really one new character, which was Al Bundy.
Yeah. So yeah, we recorded a bunch of Let's Plays on
Which
Friday
you'll
night.
never see because they're bitch to edit.
Yeah. No, you'll see them, and they're hilarious because Ryan got really
man.
super mad
Okay.
and She Wants Me Dead.
Super ragey.
I got a tiny bit ragey on
I can't wait to put those up.
on one of the games. It's a rage game, so it requires.
Which rage game are we talking about?
To complete.
She Wants Me Dead was the name of it.
Okay.
So we got 4 videos of that?
Yeah.
4 videos of that, then
Which we'll get up on the site here within the next.
Couple
We'll get
of
one of
months.
them. We'll get at
in the
least
next couple of months.
yeah. When
No.
Ryan could successfully delete the episodes he was playing on.
Now, Ryan, is it as rage-inducing as Speedrunners?
I would say a little more, just based on my reaction.
Okay.
Ragey. The controls on it just suck balls. Like there's don't you shake your head?
No, I'm saying yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm agreeing with you. There is a substantial lag.
There's a substantial lag. The gravity and the physics engine it's just enough off. It's like they tried to take a Mario approach, but then made it just enough off so that you would die, and then made a rage game around it.
We'll get more into the games that we played in a little bit. So yeah, the rest of my week really was busy, but not much as far as movies or games. I didn't really have much time to. After Friday night when we did the Let's Plays and everything, then yesterday actually.
Yeah, you went to that party, right?
I didn't go. No. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
We did an escape room, but that was later. So I started my day off. Woke up early. He was talking about Show Enough.
Oh,
Ryan is talking about Show Enough. the
oh,
cat.
little kitten fart. Oh,
No wonder he wants to sit in your lap.
I'm sorry, but he just released a toxic substance. on
Kittens
my
will
arm.
do that. So,
Okay.
Come on.
But
anyway, so actually I woke up early and I had a bunch of stuff to do, but of course the first part of my morning immediately went out to the park that was by my house and played a bunch of Pokemon Go, just walking around the park. Then I went to the Indiana Landmarks. They had a yard sale thing, huge yard sale, everybody in the neighborhood kind of thing. I volunteered at that actually for a few hours.
Awesome.
And I got a giant sunburn on the back of my neck now, which is great. It hurts like mother. Then that's whenever after that I went to our buddy Charles. He's having his 40th birthday here on Tuesday. Which happy birthday, Charles, if you're listening.
happy birthday, Charles.
Happy belated birthday.
Not belated yet, by the time
Yeah.
this goes up, it'll be Charles's birthday the day this goes up. It should be.
Or as Sir Ian Sir Ian McKellen once said, "Why don't you come out where I can see you, Charles?"
I have to say I do not understand that reference.
First X-Men.
Oh God.
Yeah, Magneto comes out and he's facing all the police officers.
Yeah. I got it now.
Yeah, he could be the first of the Astronauts Anonymous, Men of the Year, calendar recipients.
Sir Ian McKellen?
Yeah, no,
What?
your buddy Charles.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's
I
no
was
way
really
we'd ever get the money to get Ian
confused.
McKellen in this.
So yeah, we actually for his birthday we did one of those escape rooms. It was a bank heist, and we actually got the new record for it, which is really awesome.
I heard you contributed a lot.
I did. I found one key. That was my entire contribution.
I love escape rooms personally. I think they're fantastic.
What?
I think the thing that's frustrating though is if you're with a bunch of people you don't know, and then those people start slowing you down.
And they start panicking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charles knew everybody. I knew about half the people. So it was kind of, I felt a little awkward, but it was alright. It was fun. Definitely want to do one of those again. And then I spent last night at a sleep center because I apparently have mild sleep apnea. So I spent my entire night with a bunch of electronics strapped to my face and slept in this like hotel-like room, which was a lot nicer than I was expecting it to be. But did that and
Were you
then
expecting a cardboard box with wires?
well, okay, I won't lie. I imagined this thing like bunch of equipment on my face and like a hospital bed. That's all I was expecting. I'm like, this is gonna suck. But
Mr. Bennett, we need to wake you up. 5 more minutes.
I don't know if the audience can hear that, but Viet's trying to do like a Darth Vader voice sound with his voice.
Not what her mother said last night, Rebecca.
Anyway, continue.
So the funniest part is like they had to put a bunch of like sticky stuff on my face and in my hair, and they adhered it with this like white goop stuff. And it looked like really. If your cum had the consistency of that, then you want to go to the hospital. I will say.
Guys, language.
But
I'm trying to think of a replacement.
No,
cum is the only thing that's coming to mind.
let's stop talking about cum now.
How about a subaqueous fluid?
Too complicated. Too many syllables.
That. That's
But the funniest part is like, I get out of the place and then I start driving home. Instead of immediately going back home and taking a shower, somebody had stolen one of the gyms near my house in Pokemon Go. So I had to steal my gym back, and then I spent like an hour. I put an a lure on a Pokestop that was by my house, just sitting by the park, just chilling with this white goop in my hair, and people that were walking by thinking I was homeless with a smartphone.
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Dude. I think you got a Pokemon Go problem already.
It was fun. Again, I'm not big on Pokemon Go or Pokemon in general, but I'm really having a lot of fun with this game.
You have higher Pokemon than I do.
That's because I'm better than you.
I'm personally
because
not
you
a big
have no
fan
light.
of. I'm not personally a big fan of Pokemon Go. Like it just wasn't for me. And because it's Tinder, but with Pokemon. But my wife loves it. Like she's having like a blast doing stuff. And earlier today, we were driving actually on the way back to the house, and she starts talking like she's like, you know what, Alex, if I see something on the side of the road, I'm not gonna have you drive out of the way. I don't want to be a huge inconvenience. It's just a coincidence that lately I've really wanted you to walk our dog. But she's like, if I see something good on the side of the road, I don't get it. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh my god, shit, a Dragonite. Pull over now, and like we drove into this super sketchy neighborhood so Lauren could sit there and just throw great balls till she got this Dragonite.
That was
I hate.
Ryan's favorite Pokemon is a Dragonite. He has been wanting to get one so badly.
I got a Dratini, and I was like, yes, I have made more progress than anybody I know. I got home, and Alice's wife messages one of our Facebook groups a picture of the Dragonite she just caught. I said, son of a bitch!
It was great. So, yeah, it's the funniest part is that there is a factory near I work where there is a gym with a pretty low level, like, EV or something on it. But it's a factory. You have to work there to be able to get in. And I really considered, like, getting out of my car and walking up, like, to right next to the gate so I could get and fight the gym. So with that was my week. Let's get into actual topics. Should we be starting with Pokemon Go, or are we going to save that after our few? Because not much happened this week.
No, not much happened at all.
So I'd say we get the news out of the way first.
Let's get the news out of the way.
few things.
Sure, let's not talk about the thing I want to talk about.
We
We
will.
will
We're
have
gonna save the whole end thing.
Just kidding.
So really, I only have 2 new pieces of news. First off, there's actually going to be a new Iron Man.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw that.
I didn't know that.
Not movie,
Not in the comic.
because
Oh.
Marvel has been doing this push of
Don't get me excited like that, Joe.
Ryan only cares about the movies. So-
Okay, well, as far as the Marvel characters go in the Marvel comic book universe, they've been really shaking things up.
yeah,
I mean, the first really major shakeup they had is
Miles
Jane.
Morales.
Yeah, Miles Morales is Spider-Man. I mean, Jane is Thor.
Yep, that
You
was
know.
big. Jane
Captain
came out of the
America
store right
is
the same
Hydra.
as
Yeah.
the new Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
with
Captain
Kamala
America.
Khan, which I love, the new Miss Marvel series.
Yeah, it is really good. They had Steve Rogers turn heel, and he's now an agent of Hydra.
Yep, and Sam Wilson is Captain America.
But Iron Man is going to be a young black woman now.
Yep, Riri Williams is her name.
Mm-hmm.
She's being written by Brian Michael Bendis,
Not bad.
Brian Michael Bendis is one of those guys that I love his characters and his dialogue, and at the same time, I cannot stand his dialogue half the time.
It's really hard to read through sometimes.
He's really good, but I think sometimes he gets way too excited about what he's doing.
And it's like a monkey, pleasuring a coconut.
That was the weirdest phrase I think I've ever heard, and I love it.
That's an old school Dane Cook reference, is what that is.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Thank you, sir.
That's why nobody got it.
Yeah.
Except for
So-
Alex. Alex, you and Viet, big fans of Dan Cook there? What's up with that?
Dane-
We'll take you to Benson's Animal Farm, and how about that?
Yeah, well, Dane Cook he's the Nickelback of comedy, where everybody claims to hate him, but he sold out stadiums for a long time. He had a huge 2 or 3 year stretch where he was huge, he was everywhere, and then like a supernova, he collapsed in on himself.
So he's the Michael Bay of comedy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because that was your reference earlier to Nickelback, was during the TMNT review.
I personally think that Nickelback, Michael Bay, and they're all part of some spiritual connection to each other.
They're the douche Illuminati.
Yeah, the douche-nati.
Douche-nati.
There we go.
God damn it.
Yeah, I think Brian Michael Bendis, especially at this point, he likes that shock factor. You know,
Yeah.
he's like, ooh, look what I did! I did something that other people haven't done. Money, please.
Yeah, he's not like, that's the thing. He does these shock things, but it's not like huge, oh my god shocks, but he also does it a little bit too much to the point where it's nothing special.
Yeah,
Like, he's not Brian K. Vaughan level of shock stuff, but he does it a lot more than Brian K. Vaughan does.
Oh, yeah.
Also, at least as far as Captain America being a Hydra agent, at what point, when Captain America completely dismantled Hydra in World War II, was Hydra mission accomplished?
Well, no, they explain that. There was some time-altering stuff with another
happened,
cosmic
yeah.
cube that happened. The cosmic cube is now a little girl. So, yeah, it's comics. That's the explanation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, apparently Riri Williams, she's going to be one of the new champions, supposedly, which is going to be interesting because the new champions is consistent of all the new type of characters. Like, Miles Morales is going to be part of it. Amadeus Cho is the Hulk.
Nice.
Miss Marvel is going to be there. So it's all of these new versions of these characters. Which is sad because now I just thought about it, and Kate Bishop, Hawkeye,
Mm-hmm.
is not in there. I haven't actually seen anything with Kate Bishop in it in a while.
Nobody
Yeah.
likes
I
Hawkeye
love-
in real life.
I love Kate. Hawkeye is honestly really awesome. I love Hawkeye. And Kate Bishop Hawkeye is great. Especially ever since the Matt Faction run of Hawkeye.
Mm.
Oh, did you see her with Deadpool?
No. Oh, yeah. Where she thinks it's a Halloween mask.
Yeah.
Well, there's one where she goes, nice Halloween mask, seriously.
Yeah.
Who are you trying to be? And they're like, oh, that's not Halloween, that's his face. And she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And then she turns around and looks at the other guy, she's like,
Yeah. And then he just looks down and is like, I should have been Freddy Krueger.
Oh, man, but... yeah, I can't really think of anything else.
The only other thing I have for this week is that Lara Croft has officially been cast for the new Tomb Raider movie.
There's a new Tomb Raider movie?
Yes.
Oh, they're still doing that?
Yeah, they're still doing that. It's supposed to come out March of 2018.
Is this like a reboot?
Yeah, it's a reboot. It's based off of the new Tomb Raider series, which is not the Angelina Jolie, like, hypersexualized version of Tomb Raider, which nothing against that version.
Yeah, that was great.
It's really good. I love that version. It's its own version. This, if you haven't, for those that haven't played the new Tomb Raider games, they're more
actually
about.
really good.
They're very good. I love them. They're more about actual survival. Like, she's trapped on this island and people are trying to kill her, and she's becoming this very powerful person, like this very powerful fighter through her trials and like
Isn't it the plot
near
of
death
Arrow?
experiences. Honestly, yeah, it's kind of the plot of Arrow. The first game is.
You have failed this city.
Well, it's the plot of the flashbacks of Arrow.
Oh, okay.
Gotta get off the island. There's a smoke monster. Oh wait, that's the wrong.
No, actually, that's Tomb Raider. That's the first Tomb Raider.
I'm finally ready to do what is necessary. Well, also, it's like let's take a female character and let's beat the absolute tar out of her for like.
Oh God,
8
yeah, they
seconds.
did.
Yeah, man, that was savage.
It was so good though. They did it really well. But apparently, the girl that's going to be playing her is Alicia Vikander.
Vikander.
Vikander. She was the robot girl from Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is a really good. Like,
okay.
I recently just watched it.
I really like that film. It doesn't do. It kind of just follows along with a lot of same sci-fi AI tropes, but at the same time, it's really well shot.
There weren't any big twists.
No,
I was expecting a big twist, and maybe it was like trying to psych you out.
the big twist at the end was something we've seen
Mm-hmm.
already a lot.
Yeah.
But it's still a good movie. I like it. But yeah, this one it's going to be produced by MGM and WB, and that
Warner
robot
Brothers.
girl is going to be playing Lara Croft.
Huh. All right.
Yep.
She has her own production company, by the way, called Vicarious Productions.
Seriously?
Yeah, and it's VIK Vicarious.
She's clever.
Play on
Yep.
words. Yeah.
But yeah, she's Swedish.
Yep.
Yeah, like the Swedes, yeah.
Don't get
Yeah.
racist on us.
Actually, I believe also Alexander Skarsgård is, right?
What?
Is he Swedish too?
Who?
Alexander Skarsgård? You know,
Yes.
the whole...
Yeah, he's Swedish.
Yeah, man, the Swedes are like the new British people, and that they are just tearing up Western cinema.
Soon,
really
all
are.
of the fantasy movies and all the medieval movies, they're gonna have people with Swedish accents.
Actually, the Warcraft movie, the guy who played Ragnar Lothbrok,
I know who it is. I can't think of his name at the moment, but yeah, he's Swedish.
Travis Fimmel. Or no,
Yeah.
he's Australian.
Is he Australian? I thought he was Swedish. I thought it was something like that.
He has a weird accent. I thought he was totally Swedish. I had no idea that he's Australian,
Wow.
but I knew he wasn't American because he has that ridiculous accent.
Other than that, the only other thing I have is The Secret Life of Pets, which supposedly it came out this weekend,
Yeah.
and supposedly isn't blowing up the box office. Alex, what did you say it's made so far this weekend?
This weekend, $100 million.
Yeah.
And
how much?
Finding,
how much did Finding
Dory, which you would think would be neck and neck with it, has dropped down to $20 million with a 50% drop from last week.
How much did it make the first week?
Secret Life of Pets?
No,
Or
Finding Dory.
I've got the box office stuff right here. Weekly.
So
So the first week it came out, June 17th, $200 million weekly gross.
So okay, so Finding Dory still beat it, but not a bad run though.
Yeah, no. Currently, I want to say Finding Dory's got a domestic total of $422 million.
Oh, wow.
I'm probably gonna go see that next weekend. I didn't get the chance to this weekend because I've been super busy.
Finding Dory or Secret Life of Pets?
Secret Life of Pets.
Okay.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's got Louis C.K. as one of the lead
Yes,
roles.
it does.
Which is awesome.
That's actually what drew me in to wanting to see it. It's like one joke. It's the only joke that really hit with me. But the poodle's looking across her window at Louis C.K., the other dog. And she's like, so do you have any plans for today? He goes, oh, I got a big day ahead of me. She goes, what are you going to do? And he goes, well, I'm going to sit by this door, and I'm going to wait for my owner to come back.
What about you, Alex? You got any news for this week? Anything I missed?
Yeah, now we pretty much, I think, kind of hit all the major things, especially with, like, Pokemon Go has been, like, the huge thing coming in. I can't honestly think of any other... Oh, well, and the only thing I would say is that the Nintendo actually didn't make Pokemon Go. It's actually made by people who made Ingress, which is why it feels like Ingress with a Pokemon 10. I personally love how gym battles are basically you just tap your finger as hard as you can.
I personally hate how gym battles and battles in general. Well, actually, there are no.
I guess at this point we're just gonna move into the Pokemon conversation.
We're gonna get right into the meat of this podcast.
I'm gonna let Ryan vent here.
In Pokemon Go, there aren't trading in Pokemon Go. You can't battle with your friends. You can't trade with your friends. You can't. Everything that is Pokemon about Pokemon, this game does not do. I was expecting to be able to lock eyes with a trainer on the street and battle the shit out of them. No, it has to be at a gym, and I have to tap on the screen. It's not for lack of processing power at that either. Like, I can run an emulator, theoretically, on my phone that runs the old Pokemon game. So, with the entirety of its battle system. So that's not an issue. And the only thing I can think of, and Joe brought this point up, is time. But at that, you should be able to choose a short battle or a quick battle or a long battle.
It's not just time either, but also it is a Go game. And Go games have becoming a lot more popular lately.
Then don't call it Pokemon. Call it...
It's Pokemon Go.
Schmokemon.
That's the thing. They got a Tomb Raider Go. They have a Hitman Go. And that's how you fight people in those, is you tap a lot.
I say good, sir.
Yeah, well, and this has been there was a handheld gaming system. It might have been a cell phone game. I can't remember what it was. Like a little cell phone / like little handheld set. And they had a commercial. I want to say in like the early 2000s where two people would lock eyes from across the street, pull out their devices, and then battle each other. And they've been lying to us for decades now. There is even with Pokemon Go, you can take over a gym. And you can leave one of your monsters there. And then other people that are on a different team can come up to that gym and attack one monster with multiple monsters, but people from your team can drop additional monsters to help your monster, but it's still just a bunch of people randomly tapping. And even if you're winning, and this is what frustrates like my wife the most, is that a Pokemon will have like 1 HP left on the other side, my wife will be hitting hit over and over and over again. And because of the server overload, nothing will be registering, and it won't necessarily register the victory.
Yeah. That has gotten so much better since the first day, though.
But the servers are still having problems because it's still constantly kicking people off.
Yeah. And essentially they just don't have the server capacity for this, which is insane because this is a Pokemon launch.
Yeah,
but
well, it's a Pokemon skin launch.
Yeah, and if you notice, I'm gonna say that I wouldn't actually be surprised if this Pokemon Go has a larger launch and crowd base than the next Pokemon game coming out.
Oh, and it really should have. If they'd have executed it like it would have been the most popular game. This is going to fizzle out because people are going to realize that we got bait and switched or bait and whatever.
Yeah, this bait and switch. You had the term right. Look at Ryan.
He's learning.
And you can't battle the way you want to. You can't trade. It is a lovely game. Like, I give it that. Like, there is some like pull to it. Like, I find it fun to be able to capture like the Pokemon that I like and stuff. But still, it's all ramp up and no release. Like, you can't fight like you could a Pokemon.
You just described 90% of mobile games.
Well, and that's its problem, and that will be its problem, and that's why it's not going to succeed.
Which it would be smart of them if they let it be like this for a couple weeks, or like a week even, and then they did release an update where people could start trading.
That would be smart of them. I bet you $1 million that it won't happen.
Okay, do you have $1 million to bet?
I do not. I'll pay you back in increments.
He will bet you 1 million Pokemon coins.
But it's...
Which won't exist.
I'll take that. I will.
And despite the difficulties, I would say that I think it's having an explosively popular.
Oh yeah,
launch. It's been well received.
It's
with
Pokemon
as many problems as it's had.
Also, they did a smart thing, and they only did the first 150, and that's something that everybody knows. Everybody knows the first.
I know the first 150.
I
You
thought
know.
they did the first 250.
Wrong.
Really?
I have not seen anything that was not Gen 1 yet.
Yeah, it's all Gen 1. All first 100.
It's not even all 150. There's only 133 in the Pokédex that
Yeah.
are available.
Yeah, the legendaries aren't available,
No.
and some of the. I think it's
Fossils.
mostly the
Yeah.
legendaries and fossils. But I'm so disappointed in them.
Number 1's there. Or the glitched one.
Missing no?
Missing number? Yeah, missing no.
Missing nose there?
No, it's
No, I
not.
know. I'm just joking. I'm being an idiot.
Yeah, he's bringing up old Pokemon hacks.
Oh, don't forget Masingo, the greatest Pokemon of them all.
Which one?
You're talking about the same one, but with different pronunciation.
Yes.
Yeah. As a kid, like a fourth grader, I was like, ooh, Masingo. Now for most of my friends with like Pokemon Red, it would completely corrupt and ruin their game file. With I had Pokemon Blue, and not only did I never have a problem, but I ended up getting hundreds of Master Balls and rare candies and stuff. And I captured Masingo, and I had like 2 of them. And he has 2 water guns and a sky attack. And if you feed him enough rare candies, he turns into a level 1 Kangaskhan.
Huh. Didn't they actually make him an actual Pokemon later on?
No.
I could've
No.
sworn I saw that on-
They-
That would. Oh, can you imagine a Pokemon movie where Mazingo pops out and just starts corrupting everything?
Don't joke, it will be. But they did do these unknowns.
That's
Oh,
right,
yeah,
that's
that was
right.
in Johto. Yeah, the
Which wasn't
the
it supposed to be
unknowns.
like an homage to that whole thing?
Kinda, I think. Like, that would only make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, became their own little alphabet.
But despite the problems, like, especially if they do an update, I think it would be really good. But at the same time,
It's a big if.
it's been a lot of fun playing it.
It has. It has.
I mean, we wouldn't have shot video unless we were having fun.
Yeah.
Me and Joe went out today to the canal, and we spent like a good 2 hours there.
Yep.
And we ran into a lot of other people that we were staring at our phones and walking down the street, and we saw other people staring at their phones and walking down the street, and we each gave each other like this knowing glance, like, I know what you're doing. You're catching
Yep.
Pokemon too.
And then every now and then, just like look at them and like see somebody passing by. Hey, just so you know, there's a Dratini down there.
You'd say that to all the cute girls.
I would say that to everybody. Cute girls were a bonus, but
Yeah, because that's that.
if a
because
certain
this
person is listening to this, you did not hear that. I'm sorry. I will apologize later.
I mean, Alex hit the nail on the head when he said, Pokemon Go is just Tinder.
It's just what?
Tinder.
Kinda.
You look at a Pokemon with your camera and you're like, you'll do.
Yeah, do I swipe left or swipe right?
I just
Well,
go
I'm-
forward.
It's actually you swipe up.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, do I swipe forward or do I hit the run button?
But no, it was
And-
really funny. Speaking of the Dratini, because for like near the end of our walkabout here, we came under this bridge where there was like 4 Pokestops, and every one of them had a lure on it, and so just
Nothing will draw nerds like
Oh
four
my
Pokemon
God.
moves.
it became slightly crowded on that walk, that canal walk.
There were people lined up just staring at their phones, and you could catch a Pokemon like a minute.
Yeah. Oh no, it was less than a minute. Like every single time I caught one Pokemon, it was like 2-3 seconds, and there was another Pokemon popping up.
Yeah.
And it was just all these people, and we started talking about Pokemon because we all knew what everybody was doing. So we started talking about what was there, what teams we were, all this stuff, and people bonded, their marriage was made, relationships happened, all that.
Not for us.
No.
But of course, there was
We
no
already have a bond,
officiant
Ryan.
there. No officiant for the marriages because that's a thing.
Yeah, exactly. We need a Poke Priest. That's what we need.
Yep.
I'll work on it.
So the funniest part though was Ryan, like we said before, Ryan has been wanting to get his Dratini or Dragonite so
Yeah,
badly.
I thought Dratini was the first step to getting a Dragonite, but no, apparently they just roam in the wild, and you can catch them if you're cool enough.
They roam in the wild in really sketchy neighborhoods about an hour north of New York.
I'll go straight to fucking Harlem if I can get a Dragonite.
I mean to say you'll go to flipping Harlem? Thank you. Hashtag
You know what?
swear
Someone
jar.
else is monitoring language. Thank you.
Alright, but the funniest part was like because of this, and we stood on this bridge. And the reason why people put lures on here was because people were talking about like Dragonites and Dratini's were showing up at this area every now and then. So
Dragonaires, but yeah.
Whatever, whichever.
Don't
I don't
whatever,
know the
it is
Pokemon all that
important.
well. I told you, dude.
You're the worst.
Yes, this is true.
You're the
Never
worst.
argued this. But we all started running out of battery, and the lures ran out. And so, like, half everybody started dispersing, and half the people were like, all right, well, we're going to get going. And we all started walking away. 2 seconds, we took like 2 steps, and then somebody goes, Dratini! And we all look at our phones and get the Dratini pop up right when we're leaving.
Yeah, it was good timing.
Sounds like it.
Wasn't a Dragon Knight, but, hey.
Take what you can get, I understand.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's gotten more nerds out walking about randomly than I've seen in a long time.
Well, I think they were always walking, just they didn't have their nose buried in their phone before.
They were walking fast.
There's
Please
an
don't see me.
influx
Please don't
right
see me.
now.
Please don't see me.
Yeah, please don't see me, please don't see me.
There's an influx right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And a bunch of nerds going to the gym. Whoever said that didn't happen, you know?
Oh, come on, Chims.
Don't get with semantics here, okay?
Yeah, there are all these like historic landmarks and places. Like there's an elk lodge like in town that has a bunch of random people milling about it. Our mutual friend Chris was mentioning how he was in a church parking lot on a Tuesday, and there were 3 other cars there, and they're all just trying to get a Pokemon.
Yeah, that actually, this morning, that was the funniest part because there was a gym that was my color. It was Team Instinct, the best team. And
If you're a loser. Go on.
it was way more powerful than what I was, so I didn't even try to like help out with it or anything like that because I tried a couple times but just got eaten alive. But as I'm hanging out at the park, just like catching Pokemon and whatnot, I see another car pull up into the church parking lot, and then I see a battle happen at the gym on the Pokemon Go game. The guy loses, it stays yellow, and then I just hear from the car, fuck! And then the guy drives off.
Yeah, I did, when Lauren found that Dragonite, I had to like sit there in silence in the car. And Lauren threw the first Great Ball, it didn't quite get it, and then she gave it candy, and then threw a second Great Ball and caught it.
Man.
And then celebrated the whole way. That made that whole trip for her. Like,
As it should.
Never mind that you guys took a detour into a sketchy neighborhood where
Yep.
could have been robbed, shot, any number of those things.
That has happened already.
Yeah.
that Pokemon hunt made us late for this podcast.
It's a good excuse.
They'll accept that answer.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is, like, I've seen more reports and stuff of, like, people out at, like, 3 a.m. hunting Pokemon.
Yeah.
And the very first night it came out, some kid got stabbed. He was walking around in the ghetto in, like, 2 a.m. with his phone out and got mugged.
But
It was a dumb move on his part.
Move. I mean, it just shows. It even while it's loading, it says, "Please be aware of your surroundings and look away from your phone time to time." Obviously, this kid wasn't aware of his surroundings because he walked into a bad neighborhood and didn't know it. Like, oh, these guys are playing Pokemon too. Give us your phone. Stab.
It's actually, if you think about it, it's gentrification, the game.
That is absolutely true, and I'm glad you brought it up.
Yep. It's, you send middle class, people with no personality skills or whatsoever into places they have no business being in. That reminds me of how when the prices in San Francisco got too high, a bunch of hipsters started moving over to Oakland and were shocked to find out they were getting robbed.
All the time, yeah. I can't believe they just came in here and took all.
Next, we're gonna see if this game still or stays as high as it is. Next, we're gonna see like local poke shops and in like bad neighborhoods, and then start bringing business into the bad neighborhoods. And
if they could fix a few of the things and make it actual Pokemon, it could be huge.
yeah,
I would like to see them add on more servers to help combat this.
I would have them do servers before they upgrade.
do anything else.
the servers have gotten better.
They've gotten better, but the intermittent service is still a big problem.
Yeah, it is. I straight up wasted an incense. One of the free ones you get. And as soon as I released it, said, sorry, we're having server issues, and they had server issues for an hour. And I came back, and my incense was gone, and I caught no Pokemon.
See, I only had like two times that the servers went down on me today.
No, for me, the reason why I haven't leveled up further than I have.
Sure, that's the reason.
Not all of them.
He's giving me a look like he's about to kill me.
I mean, look, I love Pokemon just as much as the next guy. I have tried to log in basically all this week, and I'm maybe on there for like a half an hour before the server kicks me off. And then I try to get back on, and it's like 2 hours before I can get back on.
Yeah.
See, I had that problem the first day and yesterday too, but I've not had that problem today.
No, I've had this problem ever since Pokemon Go came out.
Yeah, and I have too, intermittently. No, not all of us can stand within a foot of our Wi-Fi and a nearby park with goop in our hair.
We can't, not all of us are that
I
fortunate.
wasn't near my Wi-Fi. I was far enough away, so I wasn't at my
Not
Wi-Fi.
all of us are that fortunate.
But no, when we were at the canal all day today, like we walked around there, every now and then it would go down, but for like a second, and we immediately was able to get back
The
in.
biggest problem you had was your phone was like,
Oh my
hey,
God.
what are you doing? You don't use me.
Yeah,
Well,
the
no,
It was
battery.
heated.
The problem was because it had been on for like 2 hours straight, and in like the 95-degree weather that it was today, and I was walking around, so I kept getting that little pop-up saying my phone's overheating, and just turn it off so I could play more Pokemon. My phone is going to be fried and destroyed because I needed to catch Pokemon.
Oh, and it destroys battery life. So actually, I think most of the big hurdles to really enjoying Pokemon Go are service related. They have to beef up their infrastructure.
I mean,
And then-
because that's sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're good.
That's been the two most common complaints is that the servers are kicking people off and that it drains battery power like it's nobody's business.
Well, it's the GPS that's draining their battery power, and I don't see how they can get around using that. So outside of making better phones, I don't see how they can get across that hurdle. But for me personally, the technical issues are going to stop me from using it here in a couple of months anyway, so.
The funniest thing to me is with all the complaints about the servers issues, it's like, does nobody here remember the server issues that... Because this is mild compared to the server issues that happened with GTA 5.
Oh, God.
Compared to the server issues that happened with SimCity. Compared to the server issues that happened with... what was that other EA game? But this has been very mild compared to a lot of big releases as terms of like server issues. Like GTA had problems for like months before they got that fixed, and still even now you still have some trouble with it.
And at that, I bet you this release was a lot bigger than any of those, as popular as those might be. This is Pokemon worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
GTA is worldwide too, though. GTA broke a lot of records when this last one came out.
Even so, everybody has a phone. Not everyone has a console or a PC strong enough to be able to play some of those graphic-intensive games. This isn't graphic-intensive.
I know a lot of people
This
that
is
don't have a phone good enough
much
for
more
this.
publicly reachable, or like.
That's true.
So, I would wager to say that this could have been.
That's okay. That even actually fuels my point even more. Like, if you're saying this is more popular, and in 2 days they've improved the servers drastically. It still has some problems, but drastically. And GTA, a game like GTA, again, and the EA SimCity, which that had a whole other issue with the servers, but like it took forever for them to fix those. And this is much more well known and more popular. Like,
Oh yeah, I think
it
they were
would be
prepared for it.
justified to be able to say like, yeah, no, this is going to take a little longer to fix. But again, today I've had a couple problems, but not much, nothing that I really feel like I can complain about today.
Yeah, I think they were adequately prepared for it. It just like
It
the
sucks.
massive adoption of it, like really could drain the server. So I mean, like,
Oh, yeah.
they had to get like their load balancing issues and stuff squared away. Oh, we have millions of users instead of the thousands we were Sometimes.
Projecting.
Yeah. Which I think it sucks, but it's not too unexpected that they had server issues the first day.
I got a Caterpie.
And
Ryan,
he's
we're
playing-
working here.
He's playing Pokemon Go right now.
I don't like this game. I really don't like this game. Oh, look,
guys,
Caterpie.
I said it had issues. I said I liked the game, and for it to be a proper Pokemon game, they have to fix some things. I also said I'd stop playing in a couple of months.
Well, the thing is that the things that you're talking about, the battle system where you can battle other trainers, trade Pokemon, and things like that, they already mentioned that those things would not be in this release. They would be in future updates.
They didn't say that they were going to be in future updates.
I honestly don't. I could not tell you. I had to look this up.
I've looked this up. I wanted this.
See, he's the second person that's told me this. Otherwise, though.
I can't find a single source that says that they are going to include it.
Also, I just personally never. I'm very distrustful, especially when it comes from studios and whatnot, because when they're like, oh, in the later games or in the later updates, you can do this, you can do that. It's the it's a corporate equivalent to I can show you the world. Like, they can say whatever they want. What matters is what they actually provide. And from what we've seen, they just haven't. There's not a lot of actual Pokemon.
Truth be told, though, Game Freak is not nearly as bad about doing that with their games as a lot of other companies, say Ubisoft.
But this isn't Game Freak, it's Niantic.
Didn't Game Freak still have a lot of say in it, though? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, they're still the publisher for it.
Well, I think it was a...
So there's no
rights-
shining, shimmering splendor?
And it's not like they
was
lied
bad,
about the
so-
game. They didn't. It's not like this one in the trailer or whatever. They've lied about what the game's going to be.
Well, not to quote It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, of course they didn't say that you could do stuff like that. But the implication, if you're going to have a Pokemon-style game, people are going to want to do Pokemon-style stuff.
Exactly, that's the big thing about the memes that are going around. Like, they joke about, oh, well, now that Pokemon Go's out, I'm going to meet somebody in the subway and, like, we'll battle. But no, you can't. Not with the mechanics like this. Not with this. This isn't Pokemon. This is something else with Pokemon skin on it.
This is Ingress. This is Ingress 2, the Pokemon expansion.
Yep.
I wouldn't even go that far. I would say it's Ingress Light.
Yeah, because I want to say it has like a fifth of the technical features that Ingress had. But interestingly, if you download Ingress, you can basically see where all the stuff's going to show up in Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. It's been a long time since I played Ingress.
I've never played it. Do you catch things or what?
You capture points.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, God, I don't even know how to explain Ingress.
It's like,
Alex, you got this one?
Ryan, have you played Pokemon Go?
A little bit.
Then you played Ingress.
Okay.
Imagine Pokemon Go without any of the promises of another game.
And there you have Ingress.
Yeah, you use your camera, you tap rapidly, you find stuff, you level up.
It's an electronic geocaching game, basically.
Well, that doesn't bode well for them getting it more Pokemon-like then.
But there's a
Since they
set
already
standard
have
for
their
it.
engine,
We
they
don't
already
know.
have their everything. Why would they change it? They've got the money.
At the same time, they never promised us anything more.
Exactly.
So I can't be upset about it. I can be disappointed, but I'm not upset.
Well, yeah, it's like when your kid does something wrong. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed in you.
You hear
You
that,
said
show
you were
enough?
going to give me a Pokemon, and this is not a Pokemon. This is a bastardization of the thing that we all loved.
You hear that, show enough? He's talking bad.
I know. We got a Meowth right here.
Meow.
Show
That's
enough
right.
for Meowth.
Nothing showing up.
Show enough, use payday.
I wish, right?
Yeah, right?
I know, right?
If I could have my cat smack people in the face and money come out, a lot of faces would be smacked.
It's like that movie, The Teapot, the brass teapot, just having him keep hitting you over and over again. Okay, that's an obscure reference. Brass Teapot was this movie where this couple finds a teapot where anytime either of them feels pain in some way, a little bit of money comes out of it. So it just escalates over and over again. Like, they start out just like, we're just gonna, like scratch each other, smack each other, stuff like that whenever we need some money, and then it just escalates from there. They want more and more money, so they keep like almost getting to the point where they're almost killing each other, basically.
Oh, so it's like a gritty prequel to 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes,
Except
it
for
is.
actually better than that.
And there's a teapot.
Yeah. You find out that's how like Christian Grey made his money.
And that's why he's into that now.
Not everyone can say they're like me.
Is that a quote from the movie?
I don't
Please don't
know.
tell me that's
Please
a
tell me
quote.
that you.
I just made it up, guys. Calm
Sure.
down.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't watch the movie. Get out.
I really didn't. I mean,
He has the book, you know.
no, I don't even have the book.
Sure, Viet.
I mean, I've got the ball gags and the officially.
Backpedal faster.
I've got the official ball gags and the officially licensed Nine Tails whip at home, but
The officially licensed one. All right. This conversation got weird.
yes, it did.
Yeah.
So, Pokemon Go.
But yeah, I think
them. But
I think the day one release, like people should never be mad during the day one release.
Exactly.
In the gaming community, from what I was able to glean, especially from like my wife and myself, was incredibly disappointed with how. And then it's incredibly difficult. Can you even in the current iteration of Pokemon Go just pull out your phone and fight like
No.
someone across the street?
no. You can't.
You can't battle each other
Yeah.
at all.
Which is not a Pokemon. This is not a Pokemon game.
Well, it would be smart of them to do an update. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Money.
They would give people keep playing. Like you said, it's going to burn out if they don't.
So
I agree with that.
I foresee them, if people burning out, their numbers dipping, them maybe coming up with a half-assed release.
I put this in the same realm as the Fallout mobile game that came out right before Fallout 4.
That was basically an advertisement, though, for the main game.
Yeah, it's a hype builder.
Which
So-
that's true, actually, because there is a new Pokemon game coming out.
Yeah, so it actually doesn't even matter if like it's not successful down the line because they've got another title release with that Nintendo is actually producing.
That's
Coming
true.
out. Because
Or
remember,
licensed.
Nintendo did not make this game; they just Ingress did.
Yeah, they sure
That's
did.
a verb now.
You could call it an ingression.
Really?
Yep, I went there.
Really?
He went there.
Successfully.
Yeah. I have to get all the corny puns and stuff out of my system before I talk to my wife again because after 7
Just
years of
tired of
marriage,
them?
after 7 years of marriage, she has no tolerance for it. So like, I'll make a bad joke, and then she turns into Chris Pratt from Jurassic World. She's like, "Nobody move." Any laughter encourages him.
So we got anything else going on this week?
Not that I can think of. It's
Yeah,
it's mostly just been
I think this is just going to be a short episode.
yeah. It's just been Pokemania. You know.
Yeah.
It's almost Pokemania. It's not Pokemon.
It's been
Do not believe
Pokemania.
it's Pokemon,
Ryan
people.
just has.
Man, he's getting just as ragey as She Wants Me Dead.
Yeah. So that's another thing which we did talk about a little bit. We will have at least one of the Let's Plays edited and up this week.
Ha! Like hell. If you're gonna edit it, maybe.
All right, I'll do it.
I'll promise next month if it's
Because Ryan just wants to take out all of his stuff.
as of for sure, but I ain't promising this week. Bullshit.
I'll try and get it up this week.
Bull hockey.
This episode should be up about
Your
Tuesday
girlfriend
as
should be
normal,
pleased to keep it up this week.
and we'll try and get a Let's Play up. And
In order to get to burn somebody, you have to say it loud enough so they can hear it. I heard it. I thought it was
What
funny.
did he
Why don't
say?
you repeat it?
Huh? I
What'd
said
you
your
say,
girlfriend would be pleased if that you got it up this week.
And we've
I'm glad
digressed.
she doesn't really listen to this podcast.
That bodes well for this.
We've become so.
Maybe got my
Yeah.
mom to listen to this. My mom.
So, for those of you that are listening, we're going to get this game uploaded within the next 48 hours, and that's a mother flippin' Astronauts Anonymous promise.
Yes.
Ryan is going to work. He's not going to go to work. He's going to take vacation for this.
That has work.
and he's gonna work his milky flippin' arse off to get this up.
Yeah.
So the other thing, the last
Something
thing
might happen to these files accidentally.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you guys know what Ryan's new job is, right?
our editor.
No, he's a stripper over at Chippendales. They call him Magic Mike SML.
Oh, so throwback to last week's podcast. All right.
Yeah.
Man, you didn't tell us you were dancing for the Chippendales.
Yep.
You embarrassed? You don't want us showing up, throwing bills your way? Is that it?
That's exactly it. You do worse things with my Alexa. What
happens between me and Alexa is between me and Alexa, okay?
I have
Amazon account.
I have it on good authority that they say Ryan is the Michael Cera of strippers.
That's accurate.
It's pretty accurate.
That is accurate.
It's yeah.
So, kind of a awkward segue into that. Next week we are actually having a special guest. Next week's are going to be our Gen Con focus episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because Gen Con is coming August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Yep.
All right, and so a special guest, we're going to have a special guest on next week, Squeaks Cosplay from Cosplay Deviants.
Awesome.
She is going to be here for our Gen Con episode, because Gen Con is happening August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
It's going to be big this year.
Yeah. I will actually be working Gen Con at the Z-Man Games booth, but we'll get more into that a little bit more
later.
Next week's show.
Yeah.
And yeah, good friend of the show. She is Cosplay Deviant. She's actually going to be Gen Con herself. So if you guys tune in, we will have a nice interview with her.
It's going to be awesome.
Yep. I think that really does it for this week's show. You guys got anything else?
No, that's pretty much it for me.
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, we are Astronauts Anonymous, bringing you the nerdy news one step at a time. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace.
There's going to be like 30 gongs sounded.
No, don't. God, why? Why do I let these things happen?